Hello and welcome to RealTalk Thursday. Today I have the pleasure of sitting with Ryan Paquin from the Paquin Team of First Home Mortgage. And I'm really excited to be talking with him. He just recently was named #1 lender and loan officer for the state of Maryland, Maryland Mortgage Program. So Ryan, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Can you tell me a little bit about the Maryland Mortgage Program?
Sure.
We get a lot of buyers that are inquiring about available home buyer programs.
Yeah, so the state of Maryland, they came out with this program many years ago.
Mm-hmm.
They've changed the name of it a few times. Some people call it CDA, the Community Development Administration Home Loan.
Yeah, a lot of business, CDA.
Yeah, CDA, that's the old name.
Yep.
And they changed the name a few years back to the Maryland Mortgage Program, or MMP.
Mm-hmm.
And so what they do is they want to promote home ownership. It's the state of Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
And so they have many different programs. You have down payment assistance programs that can give you up to 4% of your loan amount in the form of a grant, all the way down to no down payment assistance, but maybe a discounted interest rate. And so it's because they are a housing finance agency,
Mm-hmm.
they get discounts for the mortgage insurance that's required. When you do a Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac loan, a conventional loan, you have to pay for mortgage insurance.
Mm-hmm.
And so they'll discount it pretty substantially, actually, compared to a regular conventional loan. You can combine the Maryland Mortgage Program with any loan type, so FHA, VA, USDA, and conventional. The house has to be move-in ready, single family home, townhouse, condos, fine, but it has to be a one unit,
Mm-hmm.
okay? You have to occupy as your principal residence,
Okay.
and you don't necessarily have to be a first-time home buyer, but
that's great.
that will help you with some of the programs. There's about 10 different programs within the Maryland Mortgage Program.
Okay.
So some of them are designed strictly for people that are first-time home buyers. And by definition, when you're talking about a first-time home buyer for this program, and for this program only, that means you have not owned a home with which you have resided in the last 3 years.
Okay.
So you could have had an investment property for 15 years, and as long as you sell it today, you can go buy a home tomorrow using the Maryland Mortgage Program.
Oh, wow.
Okay, and still be considered a first-time home buyer in the eyes of the program.
Oh, cool.
Okay, so that is great. They do have programs where if you did sell your house today that you're living in and you want to go ahead and buy a new one, that's called the Flex program. And they have different variations of down payment assistance for that as well. So you can, like I said, you go from 0 down payment assistance with a lower interest rate. They have $5,000 in assistance. They have a 3% of your loan amount in the form of a 0% interest loan,
Mm-hmm.
and then they have a 4% grant.
Okay.
Okay. They also are the organization that has the Smart Buy program, and so the Smart Buy 2.0 is a program that allows students or borrowers to wrap their student loans into the mortgage.
Oh,
And
wow.
so the way that works is, as long as you qualify for the program and you have $40,000 in student loans or less,
Mm-hmm.
Really you can have more, but you have to pay the entire loan off with this. Okay, so
Okay.
$40,000 in student loans, 15% of the purchase price. So for example, if you buy a $200,000 house,
Mm-hmm.
15% of that is $30,000. Okay, so as long as you have $30,000 or less in student loans, or you're willing to pay the difference off, you can utilize that program. That money that they give you for that student loan
Mm-hmm.
is actually forgiven after 5 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so if you stay in the property for 5 years, your student loans up to 40 grand can be wiped out completely. No interest, no payments. They'll also give you $5,000 to help with down payment and closing costs.
Okay.
That program requires a 680 credit score,
Mhm.
okay, 5% down conventional loan. But again, the reduced mortgage insurance rates makes the payment, attractive. But the other programs that are not through the Smart Buy program, you only have to have a 640 credit score to go through those programs.
Okay.
It's just the Smart Buy that has the minimum requirement of 680.
What's the max purchase price?
Depending on the county, it's upwards of $500,000.
Okay.
Yeah, and there are income limitations, again, depending on the county.
Mm-hmm.
But for example, in Prince George's County, any county that touches DC really, Charles, Prince George's, Montgomery, even Calvert County, the income limit for a household of 1 or 2 people is about $126,000. No, I'm sorry, $140,000.
Oh, wow.
And the 3 or more is about $160,000, a little bit over that. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's high. I mean, that's a lot of money.
Definitely is.
Yeah.
And so, are there the same issues with a lot of the other programs where the funds run out?
Never.
Got it.
Yeah, so the state of Maryland, it's like a bank, right? I mean, they're not running out of funds. They fund their own programs. It used to be called the bond loan, right?
Mm-hmm.
And where you had to wait for certain bond funds to be available to fund the program, and it's just not like that anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what about the requirements?
So again, credit 640.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you're not doing smart buy, then that's 680. Okay. They have debt to income ratio requirements of 45% for a government loan, so FHA, VA, and USDA,
Mm-hmm.
and then 50% for conventional, as long as you have an automated underwriting approval. So as long as the system likes it,
Mm-hmm.
then they'll like it. As long as you're under the income limitations, you meet those household, home ownership requirements.
Mm-hmm.
That's really it. I mean, they'll
What
follow
about like
our
a
lead.
class? Is there a...
You have to take home buyer's education.
Mm-hmm.
That can all be done online. The program's available in the entire state. So anywhere in the state, you can actually take the online class now. It used to be in certain counties or in Baltimore City, you had to take the class in person.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like that anymore. If you are using some other jurisdictional programs like the county program or city programs,
Mm-hmm.
then you may have to take the class in person. You will have to take the class in person.
Okay.
Okay, but if you're not combining it with anything, then you can just do it online. It's great. Yeah.
And what's the cost of the class?
They range from free to $100 or so.
Oh my.
Yeah, but there are free classes available online.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Any other things that people should consider?
Yeah, so the house has to be move-in ready. It has to pass an appraisal. You do have to get a home inspection. So no renovations are going to be allowed on that program. Other than that, it's really fantastic. It's not one size fits all.
Mm-hmm.
There's a different program within the program for everybody, right? There's also a disability program where they will give, it's called Home Ability. It's a brand new program.
Mm-hmm.
Not all lenders can offer it, but they will give you 25% of the purchase price in the form of a 0% loan.
Oh wow.
So it's got lower income limitations,
Mm-hmm.
but if you have anybody in your household that is disabled, we have to send something to the state to get approval that disability qualifies,
Mm-hmm.
and then you'll get the 25% 0% loan.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, if you buy a $200,000 house, you're going to get $50,000, okay, as a second mortgage, 0% interest, no payments.
Mm-hmm.
You'll have to pay it back when you sell the home, but 20% goes towards down payment and 5% goes towards closing costs.
Okay.
So it's really, really attractive.
Really, it
Yeah.
is. And what is the turn time on?
So it varies from lender to lender, obviously, but since we're so familiar with it, we close them in 30 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can still close in 30 days. That's
Yes.
awesome.
And they follow the guidelines for conventional FHA, VA in terms of how much closing help you can get. So you can always ask the seller for closing cost assistance.
Okay. And is there a max on that?
Depending on the program. So FHA allows you to get up to 6%. Conventional is typically 3% unless you're putting more money down.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah.
So people can contact you to learn more about MMP.
Yeah, absolutely.
how-
So the Paquin team can be reached at 443-332-6620, and I will put my website on there. It's rpaquin.firsthome.com, but we'll put it in the comments as well.
Very good.
Yeah.
Thank you so much
Appreciate
for
you
joining
having
us
me.
today.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, thanks.